welcome to episode 859 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got Mark, Pat, Wes, and I'm Will to talk to you today about a whole lot of stupid stuff. People being stupid in the coffee.
Just being stupid, I guess.
Yep, pretty much a lot of that going on in the cup of coffee in the big time. What else we got today, fellas?
I mean, I got that with the culture of Japan.
Okay. Like some prideful stuff, some honorable stuff?
I don't know what to make of it. Look, I respect Japan, cool culture, but I feel like maybe they took a step too far.
Okay.
The story I'm going to cover in the TikTok International Moment.
They can do that sometimes over there.
Historically speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some other people who can do that in the cup of coffee, actually.
I'm going to be talking about a professor who is had a viral video. So I'm going to be playing you a lot of long clips. He tells a story. He's got a purpose. He's hilarious, but some people aren't so happy with him. So we'll get to that.
And I've got a guy to close out the show who might be as tense as the Japanese, and that's Hugh Hefner. You'll hear all about him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tense, huh?
Intense.
Oh, intense.
Intense.
I was gonna say, I thought he'd be relaxed, you know?
Like when you go camping, you sleep intense. He's something. We'll
Dead Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, dead Hugh Hefner. Turns out people had a lot to say about him recently.
Just waited till he was gone to get it off their chest, huh?
Yeah, I think they were scared of him.
Yeah, coward.
We'll get
I
to
can't
it.
wait to hear about that.
Call those people cowards.
A lot of
Or
closets.
victims as well.
In the Playboy Mansion, a lot of closets.
He has a ton of cowardly victims on his hands.
Fair enough.
We'll find out at the end of the show. All right, then. If there's nothing else, let's do the news. Cup of coffee in the big times up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Holidays, history, and trending news. But first, a fun fact. Tonight, January 18th, is the night that asteroid will finally come within 5 moon spans of the Earth. So, congrats to all of us. We're not going to we're definitely not going to get killed by the asteroid because we were never in danger, but tonight is the night. If you look up in the sky, maybe you'll see it. Probably not, but maybe so.
See ya, asteroid.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fine. We're fine. We'll see.
It'll never come back for 25,000 years, this asteroid. But there's
Can't wait to do the January 19th show and shove it up the asteroid's ass.
Right. Yeah, so this one also wouldn't ruin
Where's
Earth.
your
I think it's
hole?
only a kilometer wide. Yeah.
Yeah, they said it would.
Which side's your ass?
You stupid asteroid.
I got
said it
something for you.
wipe out a city or a state, but not really
Right.
an extinction level event.
Right. So anyways, even though it wasn't exciting as the news promised it would be, tonight's the night. You look up in the sky, you might see it somewhere. Also, my daughter officially made it to 1 year old today. So
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday to her. Harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's not about her, man. It's about you getting her through 1 year of life. Right?
I'm happy she made it.
No, literally. It's
Congratulations to you, yeah, as well.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I
Very happy
didn't
she
let
made it.
this thing die for 1 whole year.
So many more years to go.
Reset the
Very-
clock.
Yeah.
It's okay. Take a small victory here.
Right.
One is very cool. One is very cool.
One's
Congratulations.
great.
Happy
One's
birthday.
great. Still a 0-0 ball game, though. Feel like we're just at the start here. Okay. January 18th, holidays are maintenance day. So maintain something today.
Okay.
National Gourmet Coffee Day. Whew, very fancy. Peking Duck Day. Printing Ink Day. That's not really a real one. Rid the world of fad diets and gimmicks day. Also kind of fake because it's one of those third Thursdays.
Yeah, and then
third
tomorrow's going to be a
Tuesdays.
fad diet day.
Right, exactly. Thesaurus Day and Winnie the Pooh Day. So
Well, sounds like a lot of people going to be going pantsless today. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, Winnie the Pooh is a big time pantsless guy.
Oh, yeah. That'll be me all day today then.
Nice.
At least he put a shirt on. That was nice of him. I was thinking about gourmet coffee, right? So coffee, Colombia roast, right? That's the country probably best known, at least in the early 80s, 90s, 2000s, for exporting coffee. Also the country best known for exporting cocaine. You got to think that the coffee guys doing pretty well. But the cocaine guys doing better. I was just thinking about that dynamic of like
They should team up.
Well, they may have, but I'm just saying, like, maybe you're strutting your stuff. You got a new car. You're doing real well in the coffee game. You look over at your neighbor who's slanging yayo, and he's just laughing at you, making fun of your car because he's got 10 of them.
Yeah, but he's not looking over his back, though. He's not looking over his shoulder.
One day, a Black Hawk Down lands in their area and just shoots the shit out of their entire farm. And it looks like you could read a newspaper through them, as Grady Judd would say.
Yep. It can be rough. Life is a massive cocaine dealer.
Pros, cons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of people that got shot up today in history, January 18th, the German Empire was established. This is the Second Reich, established in 1871 on January 18th. Of course, that's before the Third Reich, of course, famously Hitler's. So the Second Reich established in 1871. Lasted until 1919, or the end of World War I.
Set the ground floor for that Third Reich, huh?
Yeah, and then Hitler brought it back with the third one in the 30s or whatever, and then that one ended in 45 or whenever. But check out the eyebrows and the mustache on this guy that founded the German Empire.
Is that Wilhelm?
Notable, yeah, or Otto von Bismarck. I don't know.
So nice, we'll do it thrice. That is some eyebrow.
They don't use Reich anymore, right? That's just a
Hopefully not.
That's a very racist term.
No.
Reich.
I mean, I think it just means
good
right,
catch.
right? Doesn't it mean as in like?
I don't care what it means. It's
Good
racist.
catch, Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stopped after the third, I think.
Well, no, they didn't stop. There's definitely Fourth Reich guys and gals out there.
Brewing.
Well,
Fourth Reich is brewing. But just
clubs.
like the Japanese,
How?
intense,
Far
intense.
The Germans, yeah.
Just intense sometimes, a little bit too. They take it too far. They get worked up over something, and they're like, let's take it too far.
Ready for another Reich?
Yeah.
Let's all go live in our tents.
It's time for a new Reich.
Yeah, the world's not going to like this Reich.
You know what was wrong with the last Reich? It wasn't intense enough. Let's
almost
kick it
had
up
it.
a notch.
When you think about it, we were so close on that last Reich. If we just had changed these
we
couple
shouldn't
things,
stop Reiching. We should Reich harder.
you
Yeah,
got to tinker with the Reich a little bit.
it means realm or empire. It's a third realm
Yeah,
or third
empire.
empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a
Sure it
Fourth
does.
Reich.
Oh,
There's a Wikipedia page for a Fourth Reich. Might want to look into that.
No,
unsuccessful though.
yeah. Don't join that. Don't sign up for that.
Hasn't come to power yet, so it's just brewing.
Express
right?
VPN.
Pat's on a mailing list for the Fourth Reich.
All right.
At least I'll be able to unsubscribe from this mailing list, unlike Donald Trump Jr.'s. Donald Trump Sr.'s. I can't get off of it.
You can't get off any political mailing.
You're not
list.
going to get off.
too.
You're not going to get off the Fourth Reich once they have your data.
They're
gonna-
respectful of my data.
Yeah.
The Fourth Reich might just be the CIA, though. Let's be fair.
It's definitely underground. It's
sparsely
people that have big ideas that the world isn't ready for yet.
The Fourth Reich website is just a honeypot for sure to get you put on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a .org, Will.
I bet it is.
Yeah, it's .gov.
Let's
Is there a donation button on there too?
let's move it along to the trending news du jour. That's French for of the day. In case you didn't know, people gave to local animal shelters on Monday for the hashtag Betty White challenge on what would have been her 100th birthday. So good for
Nice.
them. Nice for the animal shelters. R.I.P. Betty White. There was a Dune NFT scam perpetrated by an NFT community member named Beanie. It's a big scandal in the crypto world, and you need to check out the Hive Hour podcast at patreon.com/hardfactor where Pat breaks
Is that
down
the
whole
same one,
thing.
Will? That's the
It's
same
literally
one?
it's the same scam.
These idiots thought they were buying the underlying rights to Dune, and they just
Yes.
bought one Dune book for
They
$2.5
thought
million.
they
From
thought
an NFT purveyor named Beanie.
they thought
Beanie
that they
Mac.
bought the rights to Dune the novel,
Yes.
the original, for $2.6
novel.
million. A novel that sold 20 million copies and probably $1 billion of product. They thought they got for 2.6 million, and then they claimed the first thing they were going to do is make it public, which it already is, as it sold 20 million
Right.
copies.
They didn't
And then
understand.
they're gonna take it and create an animated show like there isn't movies and shows already about it.
Sorry,
get it,
Legendary Pictures.
Yeah.
A little bit ahead of you, bud.
I
Yeah.
trust Beanie Max.
Well, Beanie's apparently this isn't Beanie's first scam. You wouldn't believe it.
No way.
You got to go again. Patreon.com/hardfactor. Pop the clutch and send to the card tier for the Hive Hour podcast once a week. And this
What a
one,
deal it would have been to get Dune
deep
for
dive.
2.6.
deep dive into the Dune NFT scam. All right, up next mention, tennis's #1 male player, Novak Djokovic, is now likely not allowed to play in the French Open either without a vaccine this year. So that's on top of the Australian Open, where he just got deported from, leaving
Whoa.
the U.S. Open and Wimbledon as his only hopes to play in any majors this year at all as the #1 male tennis player in the
Yeah.
world.
Spain might not let him play either in the Madrid Open. Not as prestigious, but
Yeah, because Nadal's talking shit too.
The four majors are the ones, and that's Australian, French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open.
yes.
It's still weird to me though. It's like banning MJ in his prime. I just don't get it. But
It's a little bit more complicated than that.
I think it's not. Honestly, I honestly am very perplexed by it. But
Yeah,
you know,
he's
I
a
guess
hero. He's a hero.
is he? I don't know if he's a hero. I just
he
think
needs
it's
to get
weird.
a fucking vaccine.
It's weird
He's
that
got a
you would
vaccine.
ban your
But
best
he's
player.
not
in his
going
prime.
to.
Took me
He's
60
not going
minutes.
to.
He's not going to get the vaccine.
He's not going to get it,
Yeah.
and he's their best player in his prime. It's so fucking weird. Speaking of weird, let's take it to the internet for a clip from President Biden's campaign that got drugged back up on Monday on MLK Day and went viral. Here it is.
King's assassination did not have the worldwide impact that George Floyd's death did.
Yeah, well, you know, you say something like that, people are just going to bring it up on MLK Day. Whoops. And if you want to ride,
I mean, he was there. You know,
What's that?
He remembers.
He was.
He is a
was
primary
around for
source.
it.
Yeah.
He was around for both. Yeah, but if you want to ride the long shot bet that Biden may not make it or won't make it, he'll resign before the end of his first term with Wes and I, you could still get it at 22 cents, basically plus 400 at
Oh, please.
Where do you do
predictive.org
it? Yeah.
/promo/hardfactor40 to get up to $40 matched on your first deposit. Now that's a long shot bet, but Wes and I are in on it if you want to hop in the water.
That's a
with
free
us.
40. If you put in 40 and predict it gives you 40, that's 80. And you hate Joe Biden and you're rooting for him to resign. You multiply 80 by 40, that's $320. It's not bad.
There you go.
It's fun though because every
And you only put in
time
40 to win 320, you know?
Yeah, why not?
every time he says something stupid, you get a little excited about your
Right?
bet.
Right. You go check the price and you're like, oh shit, it went down again.
Well, if he also gets sent to the hospital, you know that's going to shoot up to like 30 cents.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
you could
You
flip
could
the
sell. You could sell for profit. Yeah.
But I don't think that was that stupid of a statement necessarily.
On MLK Day.
Yeah, well, I mean, that,
He didn't
no,
say
that
it
was
on
drug up.
MLK Day, but
No. Because the George Floyd thing was like it was a global reaction. I don't know that there was a global reaction when MLK. I wasn't around, but he was.
I think that I believe that didn't
They
the Civil
both-
Rights Act pass?
Both were probably pretty.
I'm sure they were impactful. I just know
big.
that they were saying internationally this was insane after George Floyd because like the
Yeah.
protests were
Internet,
global.
right? Internet not really around.
Didn't
Yeah.
MLK's
Yeah.
death though lead to a lot of meaningful legislation?
Civil rights for sure. I think if
I
you're saying
think-
global, there's just no internet back then. You could say that about anyone any
I
event
think-
that really happened back
I
in
think
the
that,
60s
like in
and
meaningful
70s.
terms, and also the fact that he was such a legendary figure. I think that's why it trended. That's all. But you know, whatever. Let's move it along. Number 3, Ghislaine Maxwell and her attorneys have decided to stop protecting 8 unknown John Does as part of the Virginia Guffrey civil case. Pat, how do you say that?
Guffrey.
Guffrey?
It's like the mascot for Toys R Us.
Guffrey. Guffrey.
Joffrey.
Yeah, okay.
It's,
That civil case. Giuffre.
it's Jufrey, like as when Moses parted the Red Sea and he said Jufrey.
Jews
No,
free.
he didn't say that.
He did.
That's exactly what he said.
Some translations maintain. Here's what happened with the Maxwell stuff.
You like that one, Wes?
I did.
Maxwell, through her attorneys, had objected to the unsealing of the identities of 8 John Does, known in court papers as Does 17, 53, 54, 55, 56, 73, 93, and 151. But on January 12th, Maxwell attorney Laura Menninger said her client no longer wanted to pursue the objections, noting that seven of those 8 unidentified Johns had already submitted objections of their own through their own attorneys. So Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, Woody Allen. I guess this Prince Andrew's already off the list. Woody Allen, Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking, Harvey Weinstein, Alan Dershowitz.
I think there's some left fielders in there, though, Will. I think you're naming the murderers row of usual suspects, but there's some left fielders in there. Big
John Glenn.
John Glenn.
Oh, right. The astronaut, yeah.
Yeah,
Astronaut senator.
Walked on the Poon.
Yes.
You know, what I was going to say, this is like when Prince Harry stopped getting royal protection. This is kind of what it's like. They were like, you're on your own, Prince Harry.
Yeah, but there's only 8. I mean, it's a start, but 8?
Start. But because of her guilty in the criminal, it seems like it's opening things up to learn some more information, hopefully. In related Maxwell news, a former palace cop also is now claiming that she and Prince Andrew probably dated, which is also so disgusting. As her civil case rolls on, Ghislaine also recently learned that she'll be facing her criminal sentencing in June. So
What do you mean probably did it? Like he treated her like shit, but like just enough to be like
no,
a shitty girl?
Like as in she was like coming in and out of his quarters all the time.
Like he wouldn't give it a name, but they were doing a lot. They were like
he was like based on the activity.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, why is that gross? He was banging a cop.
No, I'm saying it's gross because
she worked for
it's two monsters. Prince Andrew and Ghislaine, and she was also Epstein's girlfriend. Well, just that love triangle's
And
disgusting.
didn't you say she was working for the Crown? She was like a royal police officer? Is that what
No,
you said?
this is what a royal cop says. She was visiting Prince Andrew so much.
Okay.
Oh, Ghislaine was?
Ghislaine.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because cops need to get theirs too.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, but if you work for the
not
the Crown,
cop.
you can't be
Not a
you can't
cop.
be doing
It was
that.
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine and
Ghislaine
Prince
was banging
Andrew.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Understood,
Gross.
but my point stands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure, cops got to get laid.
Watch the show The Crown. If that, I mean, that's a scandal, is what it is. When an employee of the Crown that's supposed to be like the Secret Service or the cops or the guys that can't move, that trample the kids when they're getting their way, you can't date a Crown member.
Make
Can't
way.
do it. Make way.
Yeah, that's gross. You probably, if you're also an international sex trafficker and you're a member of the royal family, you probably just don't want to have a relationship where the guards are watching you guys fuck all the time. So
No. You know what Ghislaine probably could do to turn Prince Andrew on is say, you remember when you had sex with the 17-year-old? Pretend I'm like her.
yeah, that's probably what you did every time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my guess. Hey, pretend I'm a third my age.
Much younger.
Yeah, gross. Number 2, moving it along. Pastor Mike Todd. He trended after Jamel Hill tweeted a video out from one of his sermons, his recent, I think this was this past Sunday. And it's a video of an Oklahoma pastor who basically was preaching that life is hard and some life lessons from God or nature or the universe or whatever you believe in, God in his case, are often very hard to take. But he ended up taking it way too far for most people on the internet. And here's the clip so you guys can see what
He
happened.
went full Japanese.
Yeah. But you hit.
Oh, yeah, he spit in his hand.
Oh, no.
And
This
this
guy's
is
got to be
where
concerned.
most people would not face Jesus anymore.
He's got a congregation member up there with him.
What
Not
most
during COVID.
people would do is turn away.
Yeah, when you spit on your hand and you're about to put it in my face. That's exactly what I do.
It's like middle school, man.
This guy's like, damn it.
Spitting more into his hand.
Why did I volunteer?
Yeah.
What I'm telling you,
The member of the congregation's now turned his back.
what I'm
to the
telling
pastor,
you
is moving away.
is
Yeah.
just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming.
No.
God's
no.
saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand? When getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty.
Oh, no.
I'm going to
do
state
it.
in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty.
Leave the stage.
He's got a graphic that says that.
God, I just bought, in crazy faith, I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back
Oh, man.
and ride in the hoopty again?
That would be a tough lesson. That would be.
It's like getting
Yeah, because the
spit all
vision
over
I'm
your
about to
face.
give you, it might get nasty.
No. What? No.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, he's spreading the
Oh,
spit
no.
on the guy's face.
Oh, God.
Dripping.
Oh, my God.
And do
Oh,
you
God.
Do you
Ew.
hear and see the responses of the people?
They're laughing. That guy can't go back in the crowd like that.
Hey, Pastor John, we gotta have a conversation. Okay.
He's going to end up single. That guy can't
Mike
go back
Todd.
to his girl.
No,
All right. So
can't go back to his boys.
if you
Yes.
if you're not watching, if you're just listening, this pastor spit in his hand twice, hawked a lug. Maybe there was a lug, maybe not. But there was two things to spit, and he rubbed it all over his parishioner
He basically anointed the guy's face
with his spit.
And he made him wait like 90 seconds while threatening him with the horrible truth.
It was
What do you
great.
think?
Coming
got
up
paid
with
for that.
analogies about cars being sold.
He
Well,
got paid for that. There's no way he didn't get paid for that.
I thought it was hilarious. I think the guy's just a big believer, Wes. He's heavy in the spirit. and he
I would
wanted to
imagine
help
he's a
out,
big
but-
believer.
Nah, he's in on it.
You think he's getting some of that tip jar?
Well, he's
I
got
know
the
he is.
worst job in the company.
Sorry, Kevin. You know I get carried away sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I rubbed spit all over your face in front of our whole community.
I do hour and a half of speaking. You just do 38 seconds of getting spit rubbed in your face. I think I'm carrying the team here. Just shut up and deal with it.
He plays an important role, though.
Yeah.
That church member. But given the pandemic, the internet, as you imagine, was pretty upset with Pastor Todd. Countless comments, really, mostly about COVID, like you said, Pat, during the
Dude,
video.
fuck. I said COVID initially. Fuck that, bro. Pastor Todd needs to be stopped, man. Pastor Todd needs to be stopped.
That video would be just as disturbing in
That was
2017.
literally just Pastor Todd just showing off that he could. That was just showing off that Pastor Todd was like, you won't believe that I can do this, but I can, and you're not going to say a thing. And
He's
goes,
one
Pastor
step
Todd.
away from using jizz. Like, depending on the reactions.
It's like that guy that was farting on people over in Africa.
Yeah, exactly. So, same reaction. Like, he's
was
like,
a
you
power
gotta,
move.
yeah, it's a
It
power
was
move.
sexual for Pastor Todd.
Yeah,
There's no
it
doubt
was.
about
It was getting very close to sexual for Pastor Todd,
He's feeling the spirit. He's getting
Yeah.
into it. He's taking it pretty far.
even though you know it's coming.
Now, normally this guy would beat the ever living shit out of me, but
Yeah, he was way bigger than him.
You know
I
what it
got
could
him
be,
on
though?
stage, and I'm about to
Yeah.
slap my.
I imagine. So Pastor Todd, he went down that
Word
weird
of God.
diatribe of his dream car, right? And it seemed like a big church, and he was wearing a really nice suit. I bet you Pastor Todd's like in a poker game with a bunch of other pastors, and it was a bet. And I bet Pastor Todd was like, "I bet you in my parish, I can
real
spit in my
thing.
hand twice and rub it all over a random guy
On the biggest guy in the audience.
I mean, I think Pastor Todd is just like
Yeah.
he's a showman, Pat, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a bet or if he's just pushing the envelope, but he wanted us to play this clip on this show.
Every
and,
one of
he
you is
got it.
scared of Andre. Watch what I'm going to do to him on Sunday.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Taking it to the
Ruin
internet,
Andre's life real quick.
A lot of you guys might know Big Andre.
Yeah.
Ruin his rep in 30
Watch
seconds.
how powerful I am.
Big Andre's a born again. Came to us from the penitentiary. He was a violent man.
Oh, man.
that does not make me think less of Big Andre. The fact that he could, the fact that he could take, not that we
He's
have no idea
patient.
what this
He's
man's
patient,
name is.
man.
I'm converted to
If that is,
Judaism.
if it is his name, whoever this man is that we're assigning the name Big
Saint
Andre.
Andre.
to,
Yeah.
he took the spit so calmly that I would assume that he's a pretty tough guy.
He's paid.
He can get through anything, or he's getting money.
He's got to be paid, that guy.
The first one of his friends to bring it up is going to get fucking choke slammed.
I mean, there's a between Will and I. There's a,
How
What
was- how was-
video?
How was church?
Hey, look at you. Look at you getting that loogie all over your face. Oh, it's dripping. Oh, it's dripping off your nose, man.
You let him use both hands, Andre.
I came to church to meet a woman. Will, between you and I, there's at least probably 24 years of hardcore Christianity experience. Did you ever, never in my life, did I ever come in contact with any sort of lesson that Pastor Todd could have been trying to teach there? I mean, like,
Well, I can understand what he's talking about. He's saying that some lessons are hard to learn, right? And some of them can be as bad as getting
for
spit
Big
in your
Andre,
face. Yeah,
Couldn't he have just used like a water gun?
he could have done anything, but you're right.
Yeah.
He wanted to do this, but I think he just he wanted the virality, and he got it. Taking it to the internet, one of the hundreds of thousands of comments about this video that he got the engagement on. It Girl on Twitter says, "What is the CDC going to do about Mike Todd?"
Yeah.
I thought that was
Right.
pretty good.
That is funny.
Which takes us to our top story of the day, or
The cream of the crop!
Yeah,
was
his
that?
friends are going to give it to him.
Oh, they're gonna get that.
His
tape.
friends are going to give it to him for years, man.
Look at you.
Yeah. I know.
church out
If
with
it was any of you guys in that, I would never ever let it go.
No,
Just
not
come
at all.
one Sunday. Just try it out
Yeah.
one Sunday.
Yeah, just come with me one Sunday.
Pat's been trying to find that fucking dad camp video forever.
Never would let that go.
I'm talking to a collector in the Philippines right now.
That's
He's got
amazing.
DVDs.
Well, that guy's got some work to do if he's going to scrub it from the internet because it's everywhere. All right. So the cream of the crop today. Number one, we're going to take it to the internet one more time to Celtic star and outspoken human rights activist Enes Kanter. Freedom is, I think, did he officially change his last name to that? I don't know, but he calls himself Enes Kanter Freedom. I think he's Swiss, but he plays for the Turkish team. Anyways, a known human rights activist. And he tweets, when at NBA says we stand for justice, don't forget there are those who sell their soul for money in business, like at Chamath, the owner of at Warriors, who says nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs, unquote.
Yikes.
When genocides happen, it is people like this that let it happen. Shame! ! Some strong words from Enes, but here's the clip that accompanied that tweet so you guys can see exactly what he was talking about.
No, let's be honest. Nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs, okay? You bring it up because you really
What?
care, and I think
What do
that's
you mean
nice that
nobody
you
cares?
care. The rest of us don't care. I'm just
Well,
telling
really
you a
don't
very
care?
hard...
Wait,
I'm
you're
telling
saying
you
you
a very,
personally don't care?
I'm telling you a very hard, ugly truth, okay? Of all the things that I care about, yes, it is below my line. Okay? Of all the things that I care about, it is below my line.
Disappointing.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's disappointing is right. That's disappointing.
Did you see where he almost started to make a coherent point that would have been acceptable there and then totally made a left-hand turn where he was out to be like, I'm saying this as a point because no one's doing anything. But then he was like, but then me personally, I don't give a shit about him.
Right. And I want to be the poster child of people that don't give a shit.
He is now.
Yeah.
And he is now.
What an
Yep.
idiot.
Yeah, it got worse, actually, guys. Apparently, Chamath went on to say that
He's the owner of the he's the owner of the Golden State Warriors. Is that what you said?
Yes, he is the owner of the Golden State Warriors. He also thought about running for governor of California, but he didn't. And good thing, probably. He went on to say that the CCP isn't a dictatorship. I guess they just have a president for life, and that's cool. According to Chamath, that's not a dictatorship. That's just what they do, and that the USA is no better than the CCP. And while it is hard to defend a lot of what goes on in the US, especially in big government and big business, just like the CCP, we do need to remember that an entire ethnic group is being subjugated to imprisonment and torture in a massive region of China, which videos like this,
We haven't done
one
that for
I'm
like
gonna show you guys.
100 years. Okay, the Japanese
Yeah.
internment camps, and before that, slavery. It's been a while, so it's
been a long time.
we are better than the CCP.
It's been a long time.
We're not Reiching anymore. Okay,
We're not ranking right now, but they
Yeah.
are, Mark. Videos
They
like
are,
this
yeah.
one, this
China
recent
is.
one that leak out of Xinjiang all the time. At IBN ABIQ on Twitter tweets on January 14th.
Oh, no.
Leaked drone footage of shackled and blindfolded Uyghur Muslims being led from trains. May Allah forgive us for our inability to assist and aid our suffering brethren
Looks
across
terrible.
the world,
Yikes.
and may Allah punish those who harmed them. Amen. And maybe, Chamath should check out some of these leaked videos from Xinjiang, like the one that I'm showing you guys right now. That
he doesn't
have
care.
any
Well,
sound.
he doesn't care.
But
Yeah.
what benefit does he have? Is he towing company line there with the NBA China bullshit? Or
It's because industrialists, Pat, tend to not care about getting awesomely cheap slave labor.
does this piece of shit not understand how
Yeah.
socially active NBA players are? Like, what a fucking idiot.
I think it's because
Well,
he
most
just
of them love
didn't want
China
to
too,
ask
like
the
LeBron.
question again, Pat. So they caught him at the right time for him to snap. He probably had a few drinks that day.
Yeah. He's like,
No,
I'm going to be
he's
the
like-
guy that's way too honest.
He's like
Yeah.
sober CEO tech guy is what he looks like. He
Well,
looks like
whatever
California tech
gets
bro.
him off. You had too many cappuccinos or whatever lattes.
Yeah, but maybe he's a big time solar panel investor, and 80% of those are made in Xinjiang.
oh no, those were honest.
know?
Those were his honest opinions. But why did he say it? We're trying to get to the bottom of what made him snap that day.
Right.
Because
money. He just loves money.
But why wouldn't he just use his fucking platform to say, there is a problem with the Uyghurs. Let's talk about it.
Because he doesn't care.
What a piece of shit.
He likes
He
money,
doesn't
bro.
care.
It's
Below his
He's like,
line.
Yeah. There's things he cares about. There's a
Yeah.
line.
Right, my
and then
line
there's
is
things he doesn't care
profit.
about.
My
I care
line
about
is
my
what makes
children,
me money.
the Warriors. Yeah, I don't have time to care about the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Is basically what he's saying.
Yeah. And if I did have time, I would find something else to move above the line.
Right, exactly.
Not the Uyghurs. They're never getting
Put
above the
them down
line.
again.
They're so far away. They're too far away.
There's not enough time in the world
I
for me to care
purposely
about the
don't watch
Uyghurs.
the videos that come out of Xinjiang.
Right.
But everybody should check those out because they're interesting and
that's fucked
definitely thought-provoking in today's world.
So
And that's
how's this
today's-
privileged asshole responding to this shit? Is he just eating it? He doesn't give a shit?
He's going to get in trouble.
Oh
for
no,
saying
the
that.
Warriors put out a statement being like, he doesn't speak for us, but also we don't like, cause the NBA hasn't really come out and said anything because they're so in deep with China. So it's just a mess. It's just a fucking mess. honestly.
So many Warriors jerseys being sold in China right now.
Oh yeah, they love it.
Fucking loser, man. There's like how many people enslaved people are there on this earth? I mean, too many, but like not a fucking
Over a million Uyghurs.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's probably like one of
Right.
the most
This is
glaring issues. Say
One of the
so.
biggest
dickhead.
concentrations of
It's not
still
like-
enslaved people today, right?
I mean, even if you want to talk about incarceration with people that committed nonviolent crimes, just sold weed, which is not great in the United States.
which is what people point to in the U.S. and they say
I don't
it's
know
a
if we're at a
scam system.
million plus. You know, yeah. But anyways,
Yeah, and a lot of the Uyghurs
Anyway.
are even getting let go after they like rip out their uteruses and shit. So
Yeah.
it's like,
well, they can't
Forced
reproduce,
sterilization.
thank God,
Right.
anymore, right? You know.
that's
Well, Wes, they had been made into baby making machines. Didn't you see the CCP's tweet about it?
hmm
Yeah. Okay. That's today's cup of coffee.
some
with the
Reich
Bigs.
shit if I've ever seen.
Yes, that is some Reich shit. Check out those videos. Everybody should expand their mind, be aware
I
of
don't
what's
like
happening.
that.
I
In
don't
today's
like that
cup
at
of
all.
coffee. Huh?
We don't
Sorry.
like that.
Move on.
That was a double joke, Pat.
Move on. Moving on.
I like that one. That was good.
And today's cup of coffee in the big time was brought to you by something that everybody should check out. Got another one?
No.
Especially if you have a New Year's resolution to get in better shape, like we all do. Everybody has that same one. Echelon Fitness is what I'm talking about. It's an app-connected workout system that brings professional gym equipment and personal trainers directly into your home 24/7, 365. Just pick your class, climb the leaderboard, cheer on each other, and give it your all. Echelon Fitness's world-class fitness instructors are supportive, engaging, and fun, and they really know how to get you moving. And if you haven't experienced the benefits of working out with other people before and getting that motivation system going, this could be just the thing that can introduce you and keep you accountable, and it comes directly into your home. Echelon Fitness's full range of affordable workout equipment, including stationary bikes, smart rowers, sleek fitness screens, and the auto folding treadmill, are all connected to provide the Echelon Fitness experience. Literally, that's what I'm saying. You just get the stuff in your house, you get the app, you get the instruction, and they keep you on schedule, keep you motivated to keep working out. And that's how you're going to hit your fitness goals in 2022. And right now, for a limited time, podcast listeners get up to $650 off MSRP. To get this exclusive podcast discount, text FACTOR to 818181. That's text FACTOR to 818181 to get up to $650 off MSRP. Text FACTOR to 818181. Disclaimer, message and data rates apply. See terms for details.
$650. If you're thinking about getting one of those bikes, that is a smoking deal.
Yeah, they got bikes, rowers, treadmills. Looks like, I think there's like some other stuff too, like
It's a whole community over there.
a bunch of stuff.
It's great.
It's awesome.
And they don't have machines that kill babies like someone I won't mention. Another
true.
company
Very
that puts rapists in their commercials. They don't do that at Echelon.
Very, very true. Save the babies.
Never would.
Nope.
All right. I know that this video I'm going to show you guys, you guys might have seen it. Hard Factor will share it with us today because it is absolutely incredible. And it's kind of a fools that work in schools, but it's also just a man on a mission to get his point across because he is very unhappy with his university's, practices and stances as it comes to COVID. We're going to go to Big Rapids, Michigan, to Ferris State University and meet this guy, Barry Meller, Dr. Barry Meller. And he's a professor of sociology and the humanities. He specializes in racism and the study of eugenics practices throughout history. He's the founder of the Institute of Study of Academic Racism. And he seemingly, according to a lot of people on the internet, has lost his mind especially according to the school's president, David Eisler, who claimed he was, quote, shocked and appalled by this video, saying it is profane, offensive, and disturbing, and in no way reflects our university or its values. So just a little backstory. Ferris University is one of the schools that's going to be returning in the spring after winter break, and they're not mandating vaccines for their students to come back to in-person classes. And Dr. Meller is very upset about this, and he put out basically an introduction kind of syllabus to his students online in this now viral YouTube video that's been seen about 500,000 times, probably more now because he uploaded it twice. Here's the first part of the video. I'm going to play you a few long clips because it's great, and it's got a purpose, and it's also hilarious. Here's the first part of it.
Back to the show. I want to introduce myself before we actually meet F2F, as we say these days, which everybody knows means fuck to fuck, which really means that we're all fucked. When you see me next week, I'll be wearing this helmet. This helmet is actually $300. It's got HEPA filters all around it, so that all the air that comes in, that I'm breathing, comes in through the HEPA filters, and all the air that I breathe out goes out through the HEPA filters, so that it protects both me and you from this deadly virus that's going around. Now, I may have fucked up my life, flatter than hammered shit.
Whoa.
But I stand before you today beholden to no human cocksucker and working a paying fucking union job. And no limber dick cocksucker of an administrator is going to tell me how to teach my classes, because I'm a fucking tenured professor.
Tenure, baby.
So if you want to go complain to your dean, fuck you, go ahead. I'm retiring at the end of this year, and I couldn't give a flying fuck any longer. You people are just vectors of disease to me.
Amazing.
And I don't want to be anywhere near you. So keep your fucking distance. If you want to talk to me, come to my Zoom.
So he's basically just like,
wow.
I'm allowed to have lost my mind because I have tenure.
Right.
Yeah.
No, man, I think he's just speaking his mind. I don't know if he's lost it.
Oh, he's lost it.
Oh.
Did you see the space helmet he's going to wear to class because he's scared of the air?
In the
Afraid
beginning
of
of the
dying.
video,
He's scared of getting COVID, not
He's
the
scared
air.
of
I mean,
getting
he's
COVID.
intense, but yeah, he's scared of getting COVID. He's not scared of the air. He's scared of COVID, Will.
This man has lost his mind.
Okay.
no, he's
okay.
making a point. A
Too
strong
old and
Yeah.
not one to get COVID.
Yeah, he doesn't
Right.
want to die.
Exactly.
He's old.
So what the internet won't tell you there is that what he was doing is what he calls a soliloquy. He was doing a performance.
Yes,
and
yes,
that
he
was
was.
a scene that was adapted from the series Deadwood, and he changed it up to make it relevant to his situation with the professor,
With the limber dick and the cocksuckers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was
That's all-
using. Yeah.
And it was basically a lesson on how not to plagiarize in his class. From what the article said, he's like, if that was an adaptation, but I still need to cite it, and that's why he showed the video of Deadwood. Anyway, moving on, the next viral part of the video, he gives another lesson on talking about how his students are fucked with grades because he subscribes to Calvinism, which is I guess predetermination and salvation and all this other shit. Here's the clip, which also went viral because people were
Well, if
making.
you don't wear a mask in his classroom, you're getting an F.
Yeah, he doesn't want you in his class.
Well, he's not. I don't think you're allowed. Well, he's not going to be there, right?
No,
He
you'll
is
see.
going to show up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to the last one. Here's talking about grades. Yeah, this is where you think he might lost his mind. There's another clip later. Hang on.
So what you really want to know is, how the fuck am I going to get out of this course alive and with an A? That is the real question. How does this asshole professor grade? Well, let me set your mind at ease about that. You don't have a thing to worry about because there's absolutely nothing you can do. You have no control over your grade. It doesn't matter how fucking hard you work or how great your grades are. My grading system is based on the Calvinist doctrine of predestination. I figure if it was good enough for America, it's good enough for me. The Indians didn't lose because they failed. They tried everything and nothing worked, because the universe doesn't give a shit about justice. It's all predestination.
Wow.
And you all are predestined to lose, just like the Indians.
Uh-oh.
So you
And
should
you,
know
apparently.
that the American colonies, especially in the North, were founded by Christians who were basically Calvinists of one sort or another. And the Calvinist doctrine can be seen woven through American ideas about justice. You might want to check that out someday, but we're going to move on. Here's how Calvin saw the universe. Calvin believed that a person was either predestined for salvation or damnation. Most people were chosen for damnation, and that's because all human beings are sinners damned by their own ugly souls. But despite how disgustingly ugly your soul might be, God in his infinite mercy has chosen, at random I might add, a few individuals for salvation. These people are saved by grace alone, not by any righteous actions they may have performed. It doesn't fucking matter whether you go to church or give charity, your actions don't count. Nobody earns salvation because nobody is that good. And that is why, and that's the way,
especially his ex-wife.
I figure if it was good enough for Calvin, it's good enough for me. None of you cocksuckers are good enough to earn an A in my class. So I randomly assign grades before the first day of class.
Amazing.
I don't want to know shit about you. I don't even want to know your name. I just look at the number and I assign a grade. That is how predestination works.
Holy shit.
And don't come fucking complaining to me. Take your complaints to God. He ordained this system, not me.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, bad man.
He is. Yeah. You know what I think happened to him? It's what's going to happen.
Life beat him down. Life
it's what's going to happen to us because he chose to be a professor of eugenics. You know how like the news is depressing. Like when you spend like 45 years of your
Studying
life
genocide,
learning about genocide, studying about genocide, you kind of lose faith in humanity.
Racism,
and you go
especially in the United
racism.
States,
Like he's like an expert in the most disgusting fields that exist.
His mind's also been warped because like nobody believes in that fucking shit he was talking about.
No,
he's
I'm just
using it
saying
as a
watch
lesson on his
Hard
students.
Factor in 2065 and see how fucking gone we are with the news.
I hope nobody's as cynical as this.
Tough to be an academic these days.
This guy's a jaded fuck, and he needs to
He's so
retire.
cynical.
It's literally an attack on academia in this country.
Yeah, because they suck
what's
like this
what's
guy.
up? What's up with him pre-assigning grades? That's so stupid.
He's joking.
You think
about
he's
that.
kidding?
Joking.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's definitely
He's joking.
Okay.
Look, and I'm not.
Is he?
I bet this
he
guy's
is.
a good professor. I had a professor like this. Look,
I bet he's
one
awesome.
of my favorite professors at LSU was a retiring English professor, and he was mean as fuck, and he didn't care. Like
You
this guy,
learn.
he just said whatever he wanted. He joked around a lot.
Yeah,
he
you
didn't
learn
give a
some
fuck.
stuff.
And people who have tenure are funny, but yeah, I mean, this guy has lost his mind though, for real.
I do think if he's joking that you should wear a mask to his class, otherwise you won't get an A.
Yeah.
I do think that's probably
well, just to be respectful because he's insane and he's yeah.
No, he's actually scared. So the last clip I'm going to play for you guys is kind of like what he wants the younger generation to understand.
Can we get him on the show?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was too late for me to reach out, but I bet we can get him. But you don't often hear how the COVID is affecting old people and their mental state of how it is. So this is
clearly
him
very severely.
Yeah, very different. So this is him explaining that kind of. It's the last clip.
Our situation here at Ferris is about the same as described in this letter. The only difference is I'm going to be 75 years old in March, and COVID has already killed 1 of every 100 Americans over the age of 60. In other words, whatever you think of the risk of COVID, I live in a very different world. My risk is much greater than yours.
It's true.
In our first assignment, you're going to tell me how the last 2 years have been for you. Last semester, I had a lot of students tell me how the pandemic has affected their families. Many students' families have suffered serious financial problems because of so they run small businesses. Others told stories about missing their grandparents on Christmas because of COVID. They didn't want to expose grandma and grandpa to a disease that could kill them. Listen up, folks. I'm old enough to be your grandpa, and you people are vectors of disease to me. So when I look out at a classroom filled with 50 students, I see 50 selfish kids who don't give a shit whether grandpa lives or dies. And if you won't expose your grandpa to a possible infection with COVID, then stay the fuck away from me. If you don't give a shit about whether grandpa lives or dies, by all means, come to class. Now, before any of you go running to complain, and it happens every semester.
I love this part.
Dr. Miller said, we shouldn't come to class. Dr. Miller said we shouldn't come to class. Let me clarify my attendance policy to you. First, let me explain that professors have complete discretion with regard to attendance policy. Many professors, for example, allow 3 unexcused absences, while other professors do not take attendance and require attendance at all. My classes are all designed to be taught remotely, and everything you need to earn an A is available to you on our Canvas page. There is no benefit whatsoever from coming to class. I will not take questions in class because I'm wearing this fucking helmet in order to stay alive. So please, come to class, enjoy the show. I'll be there regularly because I have no choice. You, on the other hand, have a choice. Thank you very much.
So there it is.
This guy's hilarious. He's one of those like super whiny people who he just tells everybody else they're the whiny ones. But he's so fucking whiny, it's almost unbearable. But he's telling everybody else they're being whiny.
No, I just don't think he wants to die, and I think he thinks his school is stupid for not protecting him more. Maybe
I want to get him on the show. He is a character. I like him.
He is a character.
Yeah,
I like
he's
him.
a character. He responded to the they put him on a paid suspension because this video went viral
because everyone got offended. Yeah,
everyone got offended. Yeah,
I'd like to ask the people who eat lunch with this guy or actually refuse to eat lunch with him in the cafeteria about what they think about him too.
He doesn't eat lunch with.
He's a piece of work.
Oh, he's a piece of work for sure. But he said that the school president, Mr. Eiler, quote, never liked me, and the video is a performance.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
He said, quote, if a professor comes in and he's all high and mighty and using words they don't understand, that doesn't help them relax and think.
If I'm too smart for this dumb
it was a performance. No, I mean, hey, he's a fucking. I was
entertained.
I was entertained too, and I think he has a point. I think it was good to hear from an old guy about how
doesn't want to get COVID.
Fucked up how they feel, So
yeah, it's hit him hard.
I'll try to get him on the show. I'll reach out to him and see if we can get him.
All right.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Let's go to Japan, guys. I'll tell you what. Japanese culture, it's a little bit different. A 33-year-old Japanese firefighter recently had his paycheck slashed after his bosses discovered that he had a moderately popular gaming channel on YouTube, which earned him about 1.15 million yen through monetization, or a little under $10,000 over the course of the last year. So they cut his paycheck 10% for the month of January. Okay. At first, I was like, well, they must have gone through the dates and times. He was posting gameplay videos of him absolutely crushing multiplayer strategy games.
Speed runs.
Right, and then cross-reference those with timestamps to when he was supposed to be putting out blazes. And from what I know about Japanese architecture from playing Ghost of Tsushima, Japanese buildings are like 98% made of pagodas. So very flammable.
You got to get there quick. You got to get there quick.
I get why they would want this guy focused on the job. But it turns out he was posting to his channel on his off time. Okay,
that's honorable.
Yep. Someone on a snitch apparently called in a tip line saying that the Wakayama Fire Department, quote, there may be a firefighter who might be moonlighting on YouTube. Right. So much for honor in Japan. Snitches get stitches. Yeah. And since the firefighter did not show his face on the YouTube channel, officials only had his voice and what he said.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. So one local official had to go through the clips one by one, accumulating clues and proving the firefighter's identity. And when he was confronted, he admitted, "Yeah, it's me."
They threw a controller at everyone to see who caught it correctly. It's him.
I mean. There must be no fires in Wakayama, right?
Give me a break. They're just jealous he's making money. They're jealous he's making money. Were they using the 10% to buy supplies? Are they like all in rags and he's wearing like a nicer uniform than them? Is that what they are? Like they're mad that he shows up with better gear?
Well, look, apparently there's something in Japan called the Local Public Service Act, which prohibits public employees from having a second job. And
that actually exists, I think, a lot of places.
Yeah, it's supposed to prevent public officials from making money off advertisements.
Right.
Yeah, local officials said the firefighter's YouTube hustle, quote, betrayed the trust of the residents.
They shouldn't. Now, what they shouldn't do, since I used to work in a public adjacent field, like I'm familiar with like public jobs that have that clause, like you can't make any money on the side, basically. But like they should have like an option where it's not a job that interacts with anything political. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so this guy's streaming on Twitch. Like, as long as he's just playing video games and not talking about like Japanese politicians, like it should be totally cool.
Yeah. Well, here's a photo.
He's
of
doing
the,
his speed run on a game where he's burning down buildings in the game. It's
Is there a game like that?
I don't know. Starting
I know in
fires.
Ghost of Tsushima, they have there's like stuff's on fire in the opening sequence. This is a photo of representatives from the city apologizing on behalf of the YouTuber. On
you got to
January
be
11th.
kidding me. That's a joke. You're joking.
Well, no, I swear to God, that's not a joke. They're apologizing on behalf.
Very honorable of the fire department to apologize for the gaming of the firefighter.
Yeah, officials all said that he betrayed the trust of the residents, and they continued saying that he should be happy with his firefighter salary, and if he isn't, well, then maybe he should focus his zen and follow the rules, and if he's lucky, he'll be rewarded with a better paying job in his next life.
He has one. It's called Twitch. It's called streaming. Yeah, he has a better paying job.
He should just do the math, and if he can go full-time Twitch, just go full-time Twitch. But he probably is a nice guy and he wants to be a firefighter. This is so fucked up.
They're hurting themselves by getting one of their better firemen off the job.
I would love to get inside a Japanese fire department and like watch them tell like dirty jokes and stuff, you know. Like
that'd be awesome.
Like I imagine they tell here, you know.
What?
Yeah,
like, it would strike me funny to watch a bunch of Japanese guys telling a bunch of like jerk off jokes and stuff.
Yeah, dirty jokes in the firehouse.
In the firehouse,
If you think the firehouse is something,
like
should join you want to observe other cultures of men.
Check out what the abuse is saying.
Yeah, it'd be funny to see me. What you don't think it'd be funnier?
That does sound pretty good, actually.
I'm sure they have some dirty jokes.
Dude, Japanese sounds amazing. Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, I used to turn the audio to Japanese on that game all the time just to listen to the Japanese, and it would pump me up, and I would almost like play harder because I was listening to the Japanese guys be so intense.
It is. There's an inflection. It's kind of like you can tell the emotion like when they're getting angry, but it seems like a more pleasant German, where German's just really like nasty, mean. Like Japanese getting animated is still like it's enjoyable to listen.
There's
to.
lots of words that like take all the air out of your stomach, like
Watching the Japanese guy tell a jerk off joke would be incredible.
But Wes has to learn Japanese in order to get the full experience. It's
you would.
He has to,
You would.
Lots
of steps.
I'm not putting it past Wes. Let's take it to the UK, guys.
I'd put it past me.
Note to anyone who's in the dating game in the United Kingdom, if you were going to get involved with 20-year-old Courtney Ireland Ainsworth, you better be in it for the long haul. Like, make sure you have the ring picked out on date one, because breaking up with this native of Cheshire, England, is not an option, guys. Not an option.
She's
whatsoever.
how old?
She's 20 years old, and you could date her. You just cannot break up with her. It's not recommended. Here's why.
So
she's cute, but she didn't look 20 to me for some reason.
Well, she's got lots of different makeup photos. Here's one where she's really tan.
I mean, why is she so orange in the one?
Oh, she likes the tan. Yeah. Fake tan.
Did she get that injection, the melatonin too?
She might have.
Could be.
Lip injections for sure.
Could be.
She did. She's got a few injections.
Yeah.
She's been
gotten some injections.
Yes. She's been injected before.
A few injections on her.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your horses, boys. Because back in October 2019, Courtney and her ex, Lewis Jolly, they split after 2 years of dating on, quote, okay terms. Courtney even started seeing a new man named Declan Rice. But I guess Courtney wasn't really all that okay with the breakup, because over the course of about 5 months, from July to December 2020, Courtney made Lewis Hawley wish he'd never decided not to date her at all. Because Courtney apparently created between 17 and 30 fake Instagram accounts to send, quote, vile messages to herself, and then she used those messages as evidence that her ex-boyfriend Lewis was stalking and threatening her through these accounts, right? She made at least 10 police statements over the course of about half a year, which led to old Lewis being arrested 6 times and spending no less than 81 hours total in police custody. And
oh my God! You see here, Lewis Hawley 3 says, Lewis Hawley 5 says, Lewis Hawley 7 says,
Lewis's burner.
Lewis's burner.
Yeah, to give some context, guys, on the messages purportedly from Lewis, one of them read, quote, she is getting a fucking blade in her chest. And Courtney loves her chest and hates blades. So you can imagine how the police would react when she showed them that
How
screenshot.
upset she was when she got that one, yeah.
Well, why did they think it was him, though? Just because she said so?
Oh, it's Lewis. Well, it wasn't just because she said so. She engaged her family and her friends, and she went full psycho here. See,
Well, it was easy to do that because she tricked them, but how come Lewis couldn't just play to the cops to look for an IP address?
Lewis is losing his mind over this.
oh, do you think the cops immediately are dialing up IP addresses, or they're saying, oh,
If you have a lawyer, yeah.
we got Lewis is fucking...
Let's listen to the orange girl and go round up Lewis again.
Exactly.
I believe her.
Guys, also, she was leveling some serious charges. After threatening to stab her, didn't get Lewis locked up for good. Courtney took it a step further, as evidenced by the court's readings of the facts, which said, quote, you provided images of damage to property and you yourself as to where you said he knifed you with a Stanley knife, and there was a scar on your chest. So not only did she show messages saying that Lewis was threatening to knife her, but then also that Lewis had in fact knifed her.
So she started like cutting herself.
Yeah. Now Courtney got others involved to bolster the claims that Lewis was a jealous terror. She got her mother to call the police, saying, this boy Lewis, he won't stop harassing my daughter. And then Courtney also claimed that Lewis videoed her walking on the street, harassed her friends, and threw a brick through her grandmother's window. Which,
so she threw a brick through her grandmother's window?
Based on what the court said, means grandma did in fact get a brick through the window.
You got a picture of Lewis? Is this guy?
Couldn't find a photo.
Oh my God! You know why these people went along with her? Because if they didn't, she would have shifted the attention to them.
Right. Yeah, they know to not ever cross her.
Oh, well, the whole time.
Yeah.
Who do you want us to talk shit about?
Her new boyfriend is with her the whole time. You know, her new boyfriend's like.
He's like gotta be losing. He's like the guy that was at the church meeting where he's like knows the spit's coming on his face soon. He's like, oh boy, he's watching this. And he's like,
I think Lewis gets it. Okay, maybe we should lay off Lewis. Lewis lost his job. He got charged with assault, stalking. He was placed on
you
house
son
arrest.
of a bitch. They're beating him. Cops are beating him. He's losing his job.
He was beat. He had to wear an ankle monitor.
Oh no!
To protect him from stalking her, and he was placed on lockdown for 12 hours a day every day. Lewis said during his victim statement, "At my lowest point, I felt like life wasn't worth living, and thought to myself, I'd be better off dead."
She almost drove him to suicide.
Yeah.
What did he do to her? Just broke up with her?
Broke up with her.
That's it.
He broke up with her, and she immediately started dating Declan Rice thereafter.
Yeah, but Declan sucks.
But she can't be broken up with. She in her mind, she's too hot to be broken up with, and she can't have that. She can't have that somebody doesn't want her. And
she got Declan to bring him back to make him jealous, and he didn't care. And that's when it all went down.
Oh man!
When Declan didn't move the needle.
And Lewis is like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, good. I'm happy for you. She's like, what?
You crazy.
This chick went out and threw a fucking brick through her grandma's window.
Hope you get married to him.
Oh no.
Oh man, yeah. She got 10 months in jail and a 10-year restraining order against
Good.
Lewis.
Glad they caught her finally.
And,
I'm sure she came out of jail just fine too. She's going to.
She just went in, so let's see.
I'm sure 10 months from now she'll be all cured.
Should be all good. Let's take it to South Africa, guys, real quick. It's mating season in South Africa, and a group of tourists in Cape Vidal learned the hard way that they should have paid attention in the safari orientation class about how to deal with the aggressive male elephants that they come across during their tour. A video that surfaced on social media on Monday shows a large male bull elephant using its trunk to roll a car onto its side. Well, the people are inside of it, and then completely rolls the car onto its top. And again, people are saying this is because these are horny elephants. Here's the video.
I should put it in reverse and be ready to move.
Imagine being in that car. He's rolling over. He's flipping a car onto its top.
It's like Jurassic Park.
It's awesome.
I shouldn't go. Phone them. I don't know what to.
They're probably not going to get hurt though because it's moving so slow. Like
right. Well, guys, as I said, they should have paid attention at the orientation. Gretchen Abrahams, who's an elephants' rights advocate, she said of the situation online, not blaming anyone here. This driver was probably scared, and I'm so glad people in the vehicle are okay. But this would have gone a whole lot differently if the people in this car had respected the bull's level of horniness and just opened the passenger side window and let him fuck it like it was an elephant vagina.
Yeah.
But instead, the driver was a prude and did not, and now they're going to have to pay the deductible of a totaled vehicle.
Yeah, it would have just been a couple $100 to get it detailed instead of the totaling. Yeah.
You open that window and you play with the tip of that dong. You let that elephant do its thing.
This is like the second or third must video out of South Africa we've had since the season started this year. And it lasts for 2 to 3 months. So.
People need to stop going in certain areas during must, you know?
Well, it's like you're wondering why they gave you a raincoat when you started the tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you wonder why it's a discount. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is this tour 50% off?
Oh, a slicker. Okay.
How come it covers my mouth?
Actually, listen to this. For bull elephants that have easy access to nutritious food
They're so horned up.
are in good health, must can last much longer, like most of the year probably. So it can last for more than a year.
More than a year.
More than a year, they can be in that state.
If they don't get it, they got it. I mean, it depends. They got to get their rocks off essentially.
Yeah, but if they have food and shelter and they're not getting the rocks off, they can just be horny forever.
Right.
Well, yeah, I've read that some of the safari tour groups are painting the sides of their vehicles to look like holes, and they're making the windows out of silicone.
They should, Pat. It's like, you know how they have the phone booths or whatever in England. They're getting rid of them. They have the urinals they set up in like Amsterdam. They should just set up like fake elephant vaginas all over the place.
Let it do its business.
Plus, you can collect
stick your arms out in a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, grab the lubricant. This is why they gave you that industrial tub of Vaseline.
It's a business opportunity. If you
He's been in must for months. It'll be quick.
Who drew the short straw? And that's TikTok International Moment.
Nice. Well, you guys know the problem with most weed edibles, right? You get way too high if you're not careful. Think about all those movies you slept through, concerts you didn't enjoy. Wes, I'm thinking about you and Radiohead. What about when all the
those
phone
were
calls?
mushrooms, though.
Well, similar, same thing. All the phone calls you've had to ignore from your parents or from friends because you're just way too high on edibles. Can't take those. You know, I like the perfect medium high. That's why I go to Diet Smoke for their delicious Delta 8 THC gummies. What's Delta 8, you ask? Delta 8 simply less potent THC. Up until recently, the most popular THC was Delta 9. Both Deltas come from the cannabis plant. Now you're probably asking yourself, does Diet Smoke really get you high? And the answer is yes, it does. I've tried it. Will's tried it. It does. It definitely does. Of course it does.
Raspberry.
They're not light. They're just right. And look, it's no medical card required for these. They're 100% legal THC, even in states where cannabis is not. It's a smooth high. People get anxiety from Delta 9 THC if they have a lot of it, not with Delta 8. I've taken like 3 of these 10 milligram gummies in one sitting. You have your own tolerance, I'm sure, but it was nice. Look, satisfaction is guaranteed, guys. Diet Smoke is so confident that you'll get the perfect medium high. They'll even refund your money if you're not satisfied. Like I said, they're delicious. Will mentioned the blue raspberry. They have watermelon. They're 10 milligram little square gummies. They're delicious. When CBD isn't enough and standard THC is too much, enjoy the smooth buzz of Diet Smoke. Right now, Diet Smoke's offering our listeners a major discount. All you've got to do is use promo code FACTOR at checkout to get 20% off your entire order. Go to dietsmoke.com, promo code FACTOR, get 20% off your order. That is Diet Smoke, promo code FACTOR, dietsmoke.com, promo code FACTOR for 20% off. And
And I just might have one of these, lying around that they sent me. And if you send your order verification, your confirmation that you ordered using our code, you might be getting a free one on us. So go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Whoa.
Got to send us that confirmation, though.
Sober West, give it.
Yes.
That's right.
And if we're not allowed to do that, if the sponsor says we can't do that, then if you send in your Patreon order or something, we'll figure it out.
There you go. We're going to figure it out.
There you go.
We're going to figure it out. January, guys, is a big content month. The Amazing Race is back. 1883 is midseason. Peacemaker, John Cena's character from Suicide Squad, is out every Thursday on HBO Max. I recommend
Love that show.
Ozark season 4 is coming out January 21st. The Royal Rumble is later this month. I mean, come on, the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. How about the newest Scream movie coming out this weekend? Playoff football. Wow. We got it. We get it, January. You dog you, huh? You know? But look, I'm here to talk today. Probably the greatest content coming out this January. Probably something you don't know about. And it might be the greatest content possibly ever. And that's the new 10-part documentary series about the Playboy Mansion and its owner, Hugh Hefner, on A&E called Secrets of the Playboy Mansion, which will, quote, lift the lid on the dark underbelly of the Playboy Mansion. It's going to lift something, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I might have to watch this one when the wife's at work. Here's the thing, though, is I'm going to have to pick and choose where I jerk off wisely. Gonna have to really read the tone of the music in certain scenes. You know, when that really nefarious music comes on, I'm gonna have to stop because while it's obviously gonna have plenty of footage of Playmates in the outfits or lack thereof that they wore at the Playboy Mansion, it's also gonna include some pretty fucked up shit. As apparently Hugh Hefner was a monster. He was a genius, but also a monster. Kind of like Hannibal Lecter, smart guy, kind of a dick. You know.
You don't say that the guy that had a bunch of women, a lot of them barely 18, living at his mansion and taking photographs of them naked was maybe like morally questionable. Is that what I'm hearing?
You do say.
Oh, wow. That's a shock, man.
You do say. And I say this because reports are coming out, Will, from people that have screened the series already, and also, from the people that are testifying in the series. And they include some of the things Hugh made the Playmates do if they wanted to live at the mansion. Apparently, the Playboy Mansion was more like Epstein Island, except the women were mostly of age, and they had way bigger breasts. You know what I mean? Way bigger. And that's because it is alleged that Hef kept a sack of Quaaludes in the mansion, which he called leg spreaders, and said they were a necessary evil because they got the women to do anything that he wanted them to do. And anything is what he demanded 5 nights a week in the mandatory orgies that he had for himself 5 nights a week with the girls, or they would get out. For his friends,
or they couldn't be in his magazine, which was
live with them,
or live with them.
For his friends, he held pig nights every Thursday, which were events where he ordered the ugliest prostitutes from 2 pimps that money could buy, and he had his friends fuck them. You coming over for pig night? Oink, oink. You love pig night, right? Got some fresh pigs in this week. Apparently, John Belushi, R.I.P., huge fan of pig night. One of Hef's exes, Sandra Theodore, who is now 65, said that the then nightly group sex at the mansion broke her like you'd break a horse. During group sex, Hef refused to wear a condom. That was pretty much the only thing off limits was dick sweaters. Yeah, I don't think so. No condoms for me. I'm Hef. We're gonna do this orgy without a condom. Also, apparently, VIPs that were friends with Hef, like the old host of Soul Train, Don Cornelius, could do whatever they wanted at the mansion, like hold 2 women hostages for 3 days, bind them, and penetrate them with wooden objects and rape them while they screamed in the VIP rooms. Those were the ones you could hear the screaming behind. So he just kidnapped 2 Playmates for 3 days, and then he got absolutely no punishment because he was a VIP member of the Playboy Mansion. One former Playmate.
Oh, when you're rolling with Hef.
Yeah.
You know, the rules don't apply.
They were like, where's Sarah and Gretchen?
Grotto.
We haven't seen them for 3 days, and they were getting tortured by Don Cornelius.
Can you imagine what an NFT would have gotten you at the Playboy Mansion?
Oh, man. Yeah. One former Playmate and porn star claimed Hef forced her to perform oral sex on a German Shepherd in front of people in the 1970s. That sounds like the decade things really went off the rails at the mansion in the 70s. Hugh Hefner, by the way, founded Playboy magazine in 1953, and he claimed he was a champion of women's rights and sex rights and of the First Amendment. But it turns out, like Will said, the guy who founded a nudie magazine in the 50s and had 25 women less than half his age live with him and wore a robe 7 days a week was just a huge creep. Could you believe it? It's always the ones you least expect. It's always the ones you least expect.
Nobody saw this one coming. Weren't there a lot of jokes when he died?
Holly Madison basically said she tried to kill herself a bunch of times in the show, apparently.
I mean, weren't there a lot of jokes when he died about, like, people? A lot of people were like, R.I.P. to a legend, but then also a lot of people were like, I mean, this guy was clearly.
How did he get to
kind of a scumbag, too.
He's kind of a scumbag. By the way, Marilyn Monroe was on that first cover of Playboy magazine in 1953. A fact that Joe DiMaggio would constantly bring up to her after a few scotches right before he'd hit her.
I think you're thinking of Gary.
No, Joe again.
Yeah, I know you're on the first cover. Anyways, here's an image no woman wanted to see. This is This is an old picture of Hefner and Bill Cosby plotting at the Playboy Mansion.
Ooh, the trading Quaaludes right there.
Yeah, they're like, look at
that's the Quaalude team right there.
Look at Cosby. Cosby's got, he's like playing chess. He's got 3 moves ahead of him in his eyes. Like, what are we gonna do tonight?
In that drink, in that drink, in that drink. She's about to pass out.
Here's Hefner back in the day with a bunch of his ladies there. Here's a more recent one, but not much more recent. It's in color, at least. There's the old bastard and the robe sitting on his throne. I mean, this is
his bag of leg spreaders just off screen.
Right, the grotto. Who knows what went on in the grotto? The Playboy Mansion grotto.
A lot of leg spreaders. Bro.
Infamous. Playboy stopped printing physical copies in 2020, and that's going to be for keeps if even what half the people are saying in this Checks Notes 10-part damning series is true. They had enough bad material for 10 full 1-hour episodes, including like what Mickey Garcia, former director of Playmate Promotions, said. He said it was cult-like. The women had been groomed and led to believe, or it might be a girl. Mickey might be a lady.
It's a woman,
yeah, the woman had been groomed and led to believe they were part of his family. Really did believe Hugh Hefner really did believe he owned these women. We had playmates that overdosed, and we had playmates that committed suicide. Hefner allegedly took cocaine and amphetamines all day, every day to stay alert enough to fuck the shit out of these women in choreographed scenes he made them do where he got really rough. It was likened to a circus at nights. He would make them do the same sick sexual acts to him, and if they didn't do it the way he liked it, out of the house they went. Hefner allegedly took all sorts of nude photos and videos of the playmates during and after the orgies as well, when they were, quote, wasted out of their minds. And then he printed several copies, which he kept some for himself and then passed around to the women to let them know, hey, I have these in case you ever want to run your mouth about what goes on in here. That's you with an object stuck in you when you're passed out. You know how I mentioned they were all of age? Well, not all. Jennifer Saganor, the daughter of Hef's personal doctor, moved into the mansion when she was 11. And when she was 17, Hef called her to the infamous bedroom of his after years of saying she was like his daughter and said, hey, why don't you have sex with me and this other playmate Kendall, who I know you have a crush on, Jennifer? And Jennifer said, my dad's right down the hall. And Hef said, we're all family here. Also,
fucking gross.
Back to the dog sex. One of Hef's former girlfriends alleged she walked into him jerking off their dog, and when she said, what the fuck are you doing, he explained that dogs have needs too. Now, I assume he was jerking off the dog because it was too disgusting to write in the articles I read, and they said she made a hand gesture, so it could have been the finger through the hole. He might have been fucking the dog in the ass, or it could have been jerking off the dog, but he was performing a sex act on the dog, saying the dog had needs too. Hefner allegedly drank around 40 Pepsis a day and ate 3 pounds of M&Ms daily. Yeah. He had a clean up.
It sounds like he ate about 1 dog dick a week too.
Yeah,
Pepsi hates this.
And M&Ms, Pepsi and M&Ms are so wholesome. They're gonna hate it when this series comes out.
Fueling a monster rapist.
Oh my God, yeah.
Pepsi.
And he had a full cleanup crew to gather all the used sex toys and clean them up every morning from the nightly orgies that they were used in. He also bugged every room in the house and outside with microphones to spy on people and get dirt on them and to blackmail them with. He also apparently was obsessed with Charles Manson and liked how Manson had control over his women at the ranch and was curious and jealous of how he still had women adore him years after being arrested. He admired the control Manson had over women and wouldn't stop talking about the guy and collected a bunch of Manson family memorabilia. This one's coming out on January 24th, fellas. Yeah.
He really riked Manson's style.
Yeah, he's a one-man Reich.
He is.
Mark, let me ask you this. Are there any women defending him? Like, I mean, it sounds
they've
like
all turned pretty much.
They've all turned. Okay, so
they're either like,
because there's
a
lot
like
of women.
it's a Ron Jeremy situation.
But there's what I'm saying is like
it's basically like, except for he's dead and Ron Jeremy's still
Right.
alive.
Okay.
It's one of those situations where like everybody he was known he was a big creep, but because how big he was of a businessman, it got kept under the lid till he was dead. But now everybody's
it's like Weinstein.
Yeah,
it's like you know.
Let me rephrase, Wes. I don't think in this series there are.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I totally believe all this shit, but in the Girls Next Door and other stuff I've seen, like the girls come back and they're all like,
well, there
it's so good to be
back.
back.
They were getting so much money, and it reminds me a lot of a brothel, like of a brothel that's not run well, a brothel that's run where the pimp, the head guy, is just totally getting whatever he wants from any of the workers, and so.
He's not keeping tabs on his buddies who are kidnapping and holding
letting them
people
do illegal
hostages
stuff.
and stuff.
He's doing illegal
Celebrity.
stuff himself. Yeah.
Yeah, Playland.
A lot of drug use in the house. No, I mean, I don't think anyone's publicly defending him anymore. Certainly not in the series. And if they were, they probably were like, maybe some of the horrible stuff didn't happen to them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they got lucky,
Yeah, they got lucky. But anyways, January, big content month. And we have a lot of content coming out for you too, but that's going to do it for the show today. That's it. That's it for the show today. So we're running a little long.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
That Hef show. Yeah. Why were you a big Hef guy, Pat? You thought?
No, it's just so upsetting to hear. I don't.
Yeah,
I
It's
don't
just
give a shit
bad.
about Hugh Hefner.
It's just bad.
Yeah,
those are some bad accusations.
Those are bad.
Strong, yeah.
Well, you know,
Bestiality,
there
rape.
are a lot of huge Hef guys out there. I wonder how they'll take this.
Dogs do have sexual needs.
They're probably just gonna take their Hef fandom underground for just like a year or so, and then they'll pop it back out once.
They're certainly not going to watch this show.
Yeah, the red velvet robe goes away for like 6 months, and then
Do
they'll
they
watch
have
it back out.
Do they have reruns of the Girls Next Door? They're gonna have to scrub that from TV.
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
They can't put that on any of the Paramount Plus.
They've had a
apps
couple
anymore.
spin-offs too.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get rid
Playboy's
of that.
done, huh? So they're just the whole
Playboy's done.
brand is dead now.
They're
huh?
finished. They're finished. Yeah.
Wow.
And so are we. And we're going long. So we would like to say to you, we'd like to say to you, most importantly, we're going to spin the wheel.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me get this.
Spin the wheel.
Get this wheel going here.
Can't believe it, Hefner. Cannot believe it.
Oof.
Everybody
Gonna
on
watch-
the show.
gonna
Everybody
watch the
gonna be
shit
on
out of that
tomorrow's
show.
show.
Yeah. You know it.
All 4 boys on the sode. Let's see how it's gonna shake out. Bringing up the wheel now.
Shake, shake, shake.
And here it is. Da da da. Spinning for a cup of coffee in the big time. It's gonna be
Pat.
hilarious, Pat.
We knew that was going to be Pat. we knew it was going to be Pat.
How does that happen?
Right in the middle. We knew it was going to be Pat.
I've never seen it so centered.
TikTok international moment.
It was lined right in the center. Looks like Will.
Will.
There you go.
So today, but flipped.
Coffee. Yeah, coffee.
Yep.
Today, but flipped. Mark and West will bring you some more stories like Hugh Hefner.
No problem.
That's great.
All
All right, guys. Now, I'd like to say, most importantly, have a great fucking day.